Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Jason Morgan's journey on General Hospital has been one of the most complex, layered, and emotionally resonant character arcs that daytime television has ever offered. For years, viewers associated Jason with his stone-cold enforcer persona, the silent and deadly right hand of Sonny Corinthos. He was reliable, unflinching, and seemingly incapable of letting emotions cloud his judgment. That identity became so ingrained in fans' minds that any suggestion of change often met resistance. Yet, in recent months, as Jason has been reconnecting with his Quartermaine roots and softening in his relationships, General Hospital audiences are finding themselves surprised and deeply moved by this transformation. What once seemed unimaginable, Jason shedding his rigid mob enforcer identity, is now being embraced by fans as one of the most compelling evolutions the show has delivered in years. The key to understanding Jason's evolution is recognizing the weight of his history. For decades, the tension between Jason Quartermaine and Jason Morgan defined him. He wasn't just a man with a tragic accident that wiped away his privileged Quartermaine upbringing. He was the embodiment of conflict between two worlds. On one hand, the Quartermaines, with their legacy, wealth, dysfunction, and constant scheming. On the other hand, the mob world, where Jason found freedom, independence, and a family that never judged him for not being the golden child he was once expected to be. For so long, Jason rejected everything Quartermaine, refusing to acknowledge the emotional strings that tied him to that family. He distanced himself, he coldly dismissed their concerns, and he placed Sonny and Carly at the center of his loyalty. That was the Jason fans knew for years. But what's happening now is something deeper. Slowly, we're seeing Jason let his guard down with the Quartermaines. He's interacting with Monica in a way that reflects not just obligation, but real affection. The conversations aren't simply perfunctory, they're heartfelt. There's a tenderness in the way Jason responds to his mother's words now, a recognition of all the years she tried to hold on to the son she lost, and a willingness to finally meet her halfway. Fans have noticed the small changes. Jason actually staying in the Quartermaine mansion longer than a single tense visit, Jason allowing himself to smile during family dinners, Jason speaking in softer tones rather than shutting down every overture. These subtle shifts have not gone unnoticed, and they're generating discussion across fan communities about how this might be the most meaningful character development General Hospital has given him in decades. One of the most remarkable aspects of this evolution is how it highlights Jason's humanity. For so long, the character was written as stoic to the point of being robotic, someone whose emotional range was tightly controlled. That was part of his appeal. Fans loved his consistency, his loyalty, and his strength. But it also meant that storylines could feel repetitive, with Jason always serving as the mob's steady hand rather than experiencing personal growth. Now we're seeing something different. He's still Jason Morgan, but the edges have softened. His interactions with Danny and Jake carry the weight of a father who truly wants to be present. His attempts to bond with Sam, even if complicated, no longer feel like rote exchanges, but instead reflect a man who recognizes that vulnerability is not weakness. These moments of connection show a Jason who is evolving beyond his archetype, and the response has been overwhelmingly positive. Fans across social media platforms have been praising this new direction, calling it refreshing, overdue, and even healing. Many viewers who have long loved Jason as a character are expressing relief that the show is finally letting him grow. Comments range from noting how natural the softer side feels, to how much it opens up possibilities for future storylines. Viewers point out that Jason smiling at Monica, or allowing Brooke Lynn to lean on him for support, carries more emotional punch than another mob shootout ever could. The fans' praise isn't just about enjoying a new side of Jason. It's about feeling like they're watching a man who's lived through decades of pain, loss, and violence finally discover there's more to life than stoic duty. It's especially poignant when considering the Quartermaine legacy. Alan and Monica's son was always supposed to be a pillar of that family, but fate and a tragic accident ripped that destiny away. For years, Edward and the rest of the Quartermaines lamented what was lost, but Jason refused to return. His new transformation is a way of rewriting that history, showing that it's never too late to reclaim a part of yourself that was buried. Fans are responding to that message on a deeply emotional level. It's not just about Jason the Enforcer anymore. It's about Jason the son, the brother, the father, and perhaps even the man who can finally love without fear. Of course, Jason's softening doesn't erase his history. He's still Sonny's confidant, he's still capable of handling mob business, and he still has the intensity that made him the stone-cold enforcer. What makes this transformation so effective is that the show hasn't abandoned those traits. Instead, it's layering new dimensions on top of them. Jason isn't suddenly a different person. He's a fuller version of himself. He's a man who can walk into a dangerous situation with calm precision, but who can also sit in the Quartermaine living room and listen to Monica reminisce about Alan without shutting down. That duality is what fans are celebrating. It feels real, it feels earned, and it feels like growth. The ripple effects of this transformation are also important to note. Jason's new dynamic with the Quartermaines is affecting other characters in powerful ways. For Monica, it's the culmination of decades of longing, a chance to finally have her son back in more than just name. For characters like Brooke Lynn, it's about having a steady presence in the family who isn't dismissive of their struggles. For Sam and Elizabeth, it's about co-parenting with a man who is showing more emotional availability. Even Sonny and Carly are impacted, because a Jason who is more connected to his roots may not be as easily pulled into their world of endless crisis. These shifts create new storytelling opportunities, and fans are excited to see where General Hospital viewers have even pointed out that this is the kind of development that ensures the show's legacy characters remain fresh. Soap operas thrive on evolution, but it's often difficult to change a character as iconic as Jason without alienating fans. What's happening now strikes the right balance. He isn't abandoning his history, but he's growing beyond it. Fans who once feared that Jason would always be trapped in a cycle of mob shootouts and courtroom dramas are now seeing a man capable of building a more complete life. The praise is loud, and it's widespread, because it feels like General Hospital is finally rewarding viewers for sticking with Jason all these years. Another layer to Jason's evolution is how it reflects broader themes of redemption and healing. This isn't just about Jason becoming softer, it's about a man learning to reconcile the two halves of his identity. For years, Jason was at war with himself, rejecting the Quartermaines because he felt suffocated by their expectations, while embracing the mob because it gave him freedom. But as time has passed, that rejection has softened. He's realizing that the Quartermaines' love, however messy, was real, and that being part of that family doesn't mean losing himself. Fans have been vocal in pointing out how relatable the struggle is. Who hasn't felt torn between two identities, or struggled to reconcile where they come from with who they've become? Jason's journey is striking a chord because it reflects a universal truth, that we are never just one thing, and that healing often means accepting all the parts of ourselves. The evolution also opens the door for Jason to finally experience happiness in ways that felt impossible before. For so long, his love stories were overshadowed by mob life. Whether it was Sam, Elizabeth, or even Carly at times, his relationships were always complicated by the danger surrounding him. But a Jason who embraces his softer side has the potential for a new kind of love story, one rooted in family, vulnerability, and openness. Fans are already speculating about what this means for his romantic future. Could Jason finally find a relationship that isn't defined by secrecy and violence? Could he allow himself to be truly present with someone, rather than constantly looking over his shoulder? These questions are sparking excitement, because they represent possibilities that fans never thought they'd see for him. What's also striking is how much this transformation is redefining Jason's role in Port Charles. He's no longer just the man people call when they need someone to handle a problem. He's becoming a man people turn to for emotional support. That's a radical shift, and it's one that fans are wholeheartedly embracing. Viewers point to moments where Jason comforts Monica, or where he gently advises his sons, as proof that this is the kind of growth that breathes new life into a legacy character. It makes him relevant in ways beyond action sequences, and it ensures his storylines can remain compelling for years to come. Fans' praise for Jason's softer Quartermaine transformation isn't just about enjoying a new side of the character, it's about celebrating a story that feels earned. After decades of watching Jason resist his roots, seeing him finally soften toward them is deeply satisfying. It acknowledges the pain, the conflict, and the stubbornness that defined him. But it also shows that growth is possible. In many ways, it's the ultimate payoff for long-term viewers, proof that the show respects its history while also moving forward. The reception has been overwhelmingly positive because it feels authentic. Nothing about Jason's evolution feels forced. It's happening through small, carefully crafted moments, an extra line of dialogue here, a longer hug there, a quiet smile that lingers a second too long. These are the touches that make soap storytelling so powerful, and fans are noticing. They're applauding the writers for finally allowing Jason to grow, and they're praising Steve Burton for bringing such subtlety and depth to the performance. His ability to convey so much with so little is part of why this transformation works. The character may be softening, but he hasn't lost the strength that made him beloved in the first place. As Jason continues this journey, the possibilities are endless. Will he take on a bigger role in the Quartermaine family's business? Will he become a stabilizing force for younger generations of Quartermaines? Will his softer side put him at odds with Sonny and Carly, creating new tensions that test their bond? Fans are buzzing with speculation, and that excitement is a testament to how invested they are in this new chapter. For a character who has often been accused of being static, Jason is now one of the most dynamic forces on the canvas. At the heart of it all is a simple truth. Jason's evolution is reminding fans why they love soap operas in the first place. It's about watching characters grow, change, and surprise us, even after decades on screen. It's about finding new layers in familiar faces. It's about the emotional payoff that comes when long-running storylines finally resolve in ways that feel both unexpected and inevitable. Fans are praising Jason's softer Quartermaine transformation because it embodies all of that. It's not just good storytelling, it's great soap opera. And so, as Jason continues to evolve, General Hospital fans are watching with open hearts, cheering him on as he finally reconciles the man he became with the family he left behind. They're celebrating the tenderness, the vulnerability, and the humanity that's shining through. They're embracing a Jason who is no longer just stone cold, but who is warm, present, and fully alive. And in doing so, they're proving that sometimes the most powerful transformation a character can undergo isn't about power, danger, or violence. It's about finally letting love in. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.